to this edition from home of No Limits with Kristen Andre. I'm super excited you're tuning in. I have Jacynta Harb with us today, who is the CEO of Sparkle Wellness. She is a wellness coach, a certified personal trainer, all the things. So we are going to talk today about, we labeled it as your glass half empty or half full, because I think when I'm hearing from people now, my clients, my friends are, we're here in Georgia, we're going on week 6, 7, somewhere, I don't know, the weeks are blurring together, of staying at home, even though our state is starting to loosen some restrictions, but people are struggling right now. And so, I've got friends that have that glass half full attitude still, and I've got friends that are, the glass is way more than half empty. So Jacynta, what I'd love to hear from you, being a wellness coach, is, both mentally and physically, what are you hearing and seeing from people right now? What do we need to be paying attention to?
So I do love the fact that we're talking about this today. I am an all-in positive coach. Our theme for 2020 in my business, I theme every year, and we rally around the theme. And we didn't know in January that we would be dealing with an unprecedented situation, but our theme is called Be All In.
Nice. Okay.
And that's our theme. And so whether you want to be all in for your family, for your health and wellness, for your career, but wherever you're at, just be all in. So little did we know that the circumstance would come and our lives would be changed forever. And so what more better theme than to be all in with your attitude?
You didn't know it was going to be all inside, though. That really sets it up a lot. Yeah.
So we're definitely being all inside. So, I know as a leader, I know that you quoted this a while back. I actually quoted this to my clientele. Sometimes I receive the information that I'm a little too positive, which I quickly dismiss, because I believe in this world today, whether we're during a quarantine time or not, we can use all the positive energy, and we all should be naturally positively contagious, but it's not easy.
It is hard. It is. I mean, how do people do that? Because I'm typically very positive, but when I go negative, I can go quick and I can spiral down, which is, I'm most of everything I publish online and all that, I try to keep people up, but sometimes you get in your head and you're like, whew, I'm just on that circle. How do you get your clients out of that?
So I correlate to choosing their emotions. You get to choose every day. You get to choose every single day. So you look beautiful, by the way, and what you're wearing, you got to choose that, correct?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. So when you put that on every day, you get to choose your emotions. I'm wearing sparkle pink because it's like my power color. You know what I mean? And every day I decide to get up, and I correlate to choosing emotions to choosing my outfit, right?
Okay.
And I have my go-to outfits, right? Do you have your go-to outfits, Kristen?
Mine are all black. So mine are 99.9. Is anybody that follows me knows. I've got navy on today, so this is my splash of color.
I love it. I love it.
It's mostly black.
So
but I do sparkle accessories. I'm a big accessory girl.
I love accessories. We call them accessories. So
okay.
We love that. So as you can see, I'm at Sparkle headquarters today. I was actually up and dressed for the first time in 6 weeks by 8 o'clock this morning. So I love color. I love all that. I surround myself with positive people. I surround myself with color. But when I wake up each day, I have a choice. No one dresses me, right? I choose what I'm going to wear. Your emotions are the same way.
Okay.
When I decide to go into my closet and I'm like, I'm going to choose gratitude, determination, and excitement today. Boom, boom, boom. And I put it on.
Okay.
It's a choice. And whatever I choose to wear, I will wear all day.
So what if somebody, so I get that. What if somebody just has this, for me, this happened last week and I was beyond ticked off about the whole PPP loans and like for myself and clients and everything. And I feel like I was dressed in all my good emotions. And then all of a sudden midday, I swapped out an outfit and I had put on the bad stuff. So when that happens, which I think it does naturally for a lot of people, how do you recommend that they get out of that mindset?
First, we have to be really truthfully honest here, is that 50% of our day will be negative emotion.
Okay.
50%
That's good to acknowledge. Okay. Yeah.
So we are not sparkly and happy all the time. Jacynta is not sparkly and happy all the time. Your question was great. How long will you choose to sit there?
Okay.
Right? One thing that I help my clients to remember, if I'm feeling something that's not good and it's not working for me and I'm getting uncomfortable, whether it's angry, frustration, overwhelmed, stress, I know for a fact that it's not going to serve anybody around me.
Right.
In life, I truly believe that I'm either going to be an example for others or I'm going to be a warning. There's no in between.
I like that. Okay. I like that.
So I can quickly shift myself out. Now, to be honest, the truth is, Kristen, I've had a lot more practice than most people. This is my life. This is my job. So
Right.
me to do my quick mental shift, I have to have these go-to thoughts. I have to sit here and say, Jacynta, if you want to sit in frustration, sit. How long do you want to sit here? It's not going to serve you. It's not going to serve I'm not going to be a great coach.
So do you have people set a time limit and say, okay, I'm going to be TikTok. And I've done that before, with myself and with my kids. Okay, I'm going to be mad I got 3 minutes. I'm going to be really ticked off. And then I got to get on with my day. I mean, is that what they need?
To be honest, an emotion only runs through for about 90 seconds. It's not very long. It seems a lot longer.
It does.
And you know what? You can feel frustrated. It's a frustrating time. You can feel overwhelmed. You can feel despair and discouragement. However, when it starts messing with your personal life, and you start seeing it affect you and your business and your family members, that's when you know you have to switch gears.
And that's what I typically tell, my clients because I do more business strategy and I'm working with them. I'm like, as long as it doesn't paralyze you, I need it to not make you freeze. We still have to move forward. We still have to take action on everything we're working on. So how can people best get past that emotion, the paralyzing piece? Because I do think, I don't know if you see that, but I feel like sometimes people just freeze up. They get so either mad or whatever that they just stop moving.
Yeah. So, awareness that they're freezing up. They have to be aware. In order to make change, you have to have awareness. They have to be aware that I'm freezing up, but they have to have some coping skills that work for them. What's going to work for me won't work for you necessarily, but you have to have your own coping skills, which means, what does that look like? Does that mean just laying still and letting that emotion just ride? An emotion's a vibration in your body. I remember one time I'm laying in my bed and my husband knows I'm all this strong wellness warrior type person. And I'm just laying in my bed. He comes in, what's wrong? And I said, I just got to let it ride.
Yeah.
He's like, what's wrong? I said, I'm feeling frustrated. I just sat there and then it goes through and it ends.
Yeah.
So when clients can realize they have to have their own coping skills, number one is reaching out to somebody.
Okay.
That is going to be paramount. I have a business where I have 100 and some clients and we are a strong community. You have to be able to kick it out. So when you start feeling, it's probably anxiety that's setting in. They're concerned, they're worried. Yes. Anxiety.
Yeah, for sure. I think with most of them it is. And I think, so when you say reach out to people, my assumption would be, we need to know who those people are. I'm very big on finding and knowing your people before you need them, so who you're going to reach out to if and when that time comes.
So to be honest, before I even came for the podcast, I reached out to 3 or 4 people to ask them to make sure they pray for me, that I have, great words and wisdom, and that, I honor my words and, the truth here today. I don't do anything at all lightly. I take everything seriously and I ask for help when needed. And I ask for help a lot. So I think having a success team is what I promote. My clients have a success team. Not everyone on their team is a perfect person because there are no perfect people, but that person is has an asset for them, for their success team. So you have to be able to kick stuff out and talk it out with someone quickly. So it might be your lifeline. Maybe you start feeling these emotions and you immediately text someone and say, listen, I'm really not having a good day. You have to have your people in place. Okay.
And I think it's got to be the right people too, because I feel like, I definitely so I'm pretty very, very intentional with my circle, but I definitely have people in my world that tend to go to the negative more. And those aren't the people you want to reach out to in times that you're really frustrated. I think you need to find those positive people that, it's like, okay, they can, I call it talk me off the ledge a little bit.
It's called protective factors. We have
that probably sounds better than talk me off the ledge. But yeah.
We might have to edit that, Isaac. We have to have what we call protective factors in our life already ahead of time. Protective factors. So like for health and wellness, we have protective factors in the fact that we have an established community. We have a group,
okay,
right? We have accountability. For my weight loss clients, they're weighing in. My assistant is keeping track of them every week. We have protective factors. I do a lot of health challenges that protects them. We do a lot of things that are protecting their health and wellness. I have weekly meetings. We're on Zoom every week. I have, so there's a lot of protective factors. So your clients need to have a success team and protective factors in place when it's great and when it's not so great. This is all year. This is life. What protective factors do you have in place to protect you when something happens?
I think that's the part. Yeah, that's the main part, is the when, because we know it's going to happen at some point. This time is very interesting because the something happened to pretty much all of us all at once. So I think so right now everybody is needing a success team in the protective factors, where before it was almost situational, and one person would be doing good while another person was really struggling. But now it seems like everybody's kind of thrust into this all at once.
We like to call it everyone's in the tunnel. We're all in that tunnel together.
Yeah.
And again, that's another thing that helps clients, is that realizing that we are all in this together.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We're trying to come out of this unscathed.
Right.
But can we come out of it even better, fitter, stronger, healthier, more motivated, and determined as ever? Yes. I mean,
I really think so. I 100% believe that, because I feel like the friends and the clients I have that are at home and that are really saying, okay, I'm going to use this time. I mean, for me, I'm very intentional. So I'm using the time to, do things around the house, to work on relationships, to build the business. So I'm definitely using the time, because I think the time we all have right now is a gift for us that we're not going to get again, hopefully, for a long time. But if we can use it properly, we can all come out of this stronger. So 100% believe that. What are you telling your clients daily? What are some things that people?
Oh, yeah, great question. I repeat a lot. So number one is the three things that I believe that all clients should be doing right now is being productive, constructive, and creative.
Okay.
Productive. I love what you just said, Kristen. Like, I'm using this time. I'm maximizing my time. I can tell you that. So those are the three words. I hear that every week. And I always intro it with, there is no better time than right now to take care of your health and wellness.
Yeah.
I mean, it is amazingly paramount that we are taking care of our health and wellness, and no better time than now. And how are you being productive, constructive, and creative with your time? It has been a gift.
Yeah.
Challenges are gifts. I feel like in every challenge, there's a gift. Do I see it right away sometimes? No. Does it come up later? Absolutely. And challenges just force you to find another way to stand. I love that. I have been challenged already. I never did Zoom meetings. Now I'm doing 15 a week. I didn't even know what Zoom was. Now I'm like, hey.
I was doing Zoom meetings before, so I done it. But now I feel like everything's on Zoom. So I read an article, Psychology Today or something, article last week, I think that's where it was from, on Zoom fatigue. It's a thing now. So now sometimes if people are getting where they're like, this is a lot of Zoom meetings, like a lot of Zoom meetings. So it is, you're kind of used to, we're having to shift, and I love the opportunity to get to do that. But at the same time, I think we still need to be intentional about what we're adding. Just because you can do a Zoom happy hour every night doesn't necessarily mean that that's what's meant for you or for your business.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, but I love the idea of, like, just kind of you said productive, constructive, creative. Those are things that all of us can do, because I do feel like we're making choices at home, especially with health. You mentioned health, and that's been a big thing for me. And we've talked about that on the show before. And it's, it's the intentional choices, because it's just like picking out your outfit. You said at the beginning of the day, we can choose what we're doing with our health. I think a lot of people are not making the best choices. I'm guilty of that, everyone else, but just trying to figure out what we can do that's different and creative and constructive.
So you have to look at the positives of everything. Again, remember, our glasses are half full, right? Our glasses are half full. So it's one of those things where we're getting to cook more, and we're saving time, energy, and money. Our bodies are healthier because we're in control of what we stick in our mouth, and it's great. And so a lot of my clients who have been whining and complaining about cooking, they are embracing it. And I'm just like, wow, I've been wanting this as a coach. As a coach, I am thrilled because I have people who have time and no excuses. It's like, it's like, wow. So I'm seeing a lot of possibilities. My week's topic this week is called Be All In for the Possibilities. There's so many possibilities, and for your clients, the business to grow, to reinvent yourself, right? To take this time to learn. I mean, it's just amazing. We don't like when we're stuck in a little growth stage and we're having to dig ourselves out, but we're going to be so much better as a result of it.
I think the growth stages are fun. I mean, they're not always comfortable, but I think they're fun because some cool things come out of it if you embrace it. So you've got people, like there are people to help. So I don't feel like people are sitting at home going, I don't know. But I do feel like people sit at home and don't realize they have a choice in their health or wellness or their business or things like that. They can't control everything. My big phrase is control the controllable. So if you can control what you put in your mouth, we don't always do it well. But I think there's an opportunity there that we can kind of get moving in the right direction.
I'm blessed right now. I'm grateful. I know some of your clients and businesses are not where they want to be, and I know they will rebound and it will be better than ever. I've been grateful that I quickly reinvented myself within minutes of the virus.
Yeah.
I took some major changes and quickly added a whole personal training session in classes to my schedule. And of course, I'm doing them via Zoom. But I became a trainer. Then all of a sudden, it was like, we're going to business now. I was waiting to launch my part of my business, and I just launched it right during everything was going down, and I launched the business. People be afraid to bring something new to the plate right now. That's where the creativity starts.
Yeah, this is a great time to bring new things to the plate.
It doesn't mean I was, my word for the year is courage.
Okay.
And I didn't know in January that I was going to need all this courage and to be brave. I'm in my office right now, and one of my first signs that I purchased for my office was "Be brave today." And that's how I feel. Each day I put on my armor. Each day, I just got to be brave today because I don't know what tomorrow holds, right? So I want that to be something where, have courage. Courage means it's not the absence of fear. It's having fear and just press it on anyway. I had to be fearless to launch a bit. Now, I launched my fitness business during a coronavirus.
Yeah.
So I was asking my clientele who had already been paying me. I launched a second business on them, and they're paying me. Yeah. That's bold. That's courageous.
Yeah, absolutely.
That might sound like that for me to have to ask clientele during a time where they're already paying me monthly, and I come out week 2 of the virus saying we're launching Sparkle Fitness. We're going to go right now, and here's what it's going to look like. And that was bold for me. And guess what? It worked.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if people are in and engaged, they'll do it. I mean, if they're engaged with you and they want to grow. But I do like what you just said about the daily, like what can I do today? Because I feel like a lot of the fear is coming from looking too far down the future and not just focus on what can I control today? What can I have an impact on? How can I be productive, constructive, and creative today? So I like the one day at a time approach. I think that's a good way to, really bring things together.
I think it will help people's emotional state to look at the day ahead.
Yeah.
To look at the day ahead each night before I go to bed, and I have a planner, and I just jotted down my hourly schedule for today, and of course you all were on there, and again, I'm so grateful. And I just had that all mapped out, and that just calms me down, and I go to sleep. So I just look at the day and what a day has to offer, you know what I mean? So I love that. Yes. One day at a time. And that's what I think during major upheavals, like we're having crises in our country and our personal lives, it's the one day.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think, as we settle into this and we take the one day at a time, so fast forward for me, I don't know, a couple months maybe, what are you feeling or seeing? Like, what do you think with your clients? What are they most excited about going forward a couple months?
I think, to be honest, they're most excited because they're actually doing the work now, and they're going to be reaping the benefits later on, which means, and a lot of them had been struggling in a lot of different areas. And because of what's happened, they're able to make a lot of headway right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're able to, again, the whole cooking from home. I don't know if you realize in my business, people don't like to cook at home.
Yeah, I'm doing more. I've never been like a cook. I've been more of I tell people I don't cook, I fix. Like I will fix.
You assemble.
I assemble, yes. That's correct. So because we were typically before, with my children, we were running constantly. We were going to practices or rehearsals or tutors or this, and it was, I assemble. I didn't cook. So I'm definitely not a chef by any stretch of the imagination, but I am using the stove instead of the microwave on occasion. So it's definitely learning things that I haven't done before.
You've had the opportunity. The challenge, yeah. Well, the challenge provides you opportunity. So number one, I think that having people take control of their health and wellness from my company has been great. Having them cook from home and to really embrace that, which has been number one. Consistent exercise routines. Because of the stress level, the biggest thing I came out of Sparkle One quarantine week was we've got to exercise. We have to take our exercise to that whole next level. We knew that, and I know you asked me about emotions and all that. The one best thing is make sure you're having your exercise. You want to have those endorphins running from the morning to the end of the day, using it for your, be able to, manage your days better.
Yeah.
That's a coping skill. That's one of the coping skills that most of my clients.
That is a coping skill I fail miserably at. That is a big challenge for me, is just to remember to get outside and do things.
So they're actually becoming, because I've already created this active community. We do 5Ks a month for a year challenge. We do lots of races and activities. We're very active. And so the big thing is that we increase the activity. It was week 1 of the virus, and I came out with, you will exercise twice a day.
Oh,
because
wow.
I knew the stress level was going to increase as the weeks have gone by, and they have. Week 1, that was my big come out of Corona. Week 1, I said, you will exercise twice a day. And so they have increased their exercise dramatically. I mean, dramatically. And so that's one of the things. People who are not consistent, I know you admitted that, and I appreciate your honesty.
Not consistent. Yeah.
Again, we can work on that. And that's the best part, right? So
that would be a miracle that no one's been able to accomplish in however many years I've been on this.
Maybe you'll let me do it. Maybe you can be my personal protege on that. So the consistent exercise is crucial for your mental. Right now it's mental. It's for your mental stress.
Oh, I'm mental, yeah, on any given day, for sure.
So I've seen so many people increase their exercise. They went from literally doing 1 or 2 days intermittently to now they're up to 4 and 5 days consistently exercising. And so that was an opportunity because of the virus to have more time. Like you said, we're not going to tutors and dance and.
Right. Yeah. I don't think it's a time issue at all. Definitely. With most people, like when all the people before that were like, I don't have time. You could almost see that, not all the time, but almost. But now you're like, yeah, you do.
So this Corona time period has been a priority period. When I want a client to really focus and make change, I ask them to give me 30 days on focusing on one thing. I call it a priority period. We're not going to look at everything. It's too overwhelming. Just one thing that you're going to focus on and be deliberate, intentional, and purposeful with for a 30-day period. A 30-day period is a nice chunk of time.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So we've had a nice chunk of time, and I'm starting to see a lot of people, most of my clients who have made great changes in many areas because they've had the time and they are being deliberate with this.
Yes. And I think that's where we're seeing the people that are going to come out of this ahead is, I've been very intentional with how I spend my time. I do feel like nothing was ever a time issue for me. I think everybody has time. Whitney and I joke all the time. We're like, we all got the same hours in the day as Beyonce, so she's getting it done. Right. It's a priority thing. I've always said it's priority. So I'm not the one to say, oh, I don't have time to exercise or whatever. It hasn't been a priority as high of a priority as a lot of other things. So I think this is an opportunity, since we do have time, to figure out what that priority is for us. Where do we want to go and where do we want to focus on, whether it's our relationships, our children, our family, our business, our health. It's not, you don't have to pick just one, but I love your idea of focus on one for 30 days and get those habits built in place.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So, one is not so overwhelming as picking.
No, not at all. Not at all.
No. When life gets chaotic, when my clients regular time of the year and something happens in their life, I just say, let's just pick one thing right now.
The one.
I'd rather the one thing than lose them and they disappear and their health and wellness goals just dissipate. I'd rather just hold on for one thing. Sometimes it's drinking water.
Oh, that's my other. She's hit on Whitney. Water, exercise. Those are my two.
I found your magic. Say, all right, we got this. We can change.
Those are the two for me, for sure.
So go ahead.
No, I was going to say. So what? If people are listening, what's the one thing you would really encourage them? Because we're people listening from all over. We're here in Georgia where they're starting to loosen the restrictions. So some people are still deciding to stay home. Some are deciding to go out to the places that the governor yesterday announced are open. I'm personally planning to stay home a little bit longer, but everybody's making their own choice. So as people start to ease back into what was and getting out more, what's one thing they really need to focus on to keep that positivity and keep the glass half full attitude?
That's a good question. I do agree with, everyone makes their own personal decisions on the
Right.
information that they get. And so, I do believe, the one thing, are you talking health and wellness or in general?
Well, I know either one, but I know health and wellness is your specialty. So I would love to kind of know what you think there, because that's, where your area of expertise is. And I know that's an area that's really, whether people have used this time to really strengthen their health and wellness, or whether this time has caused their health and wellness to take a little bit of a nosedive. I think it's certainly an important topic for everybody to look at.
So, I would definitely say exercise. And I'll
Okay.
tell you why is that because when you feel strong physically, it comes out, you feel strong mentally. It's a 2-for-1 there.
Okay.
Right.
Yes.
So when I was focusing heavy on the exercise in the first couple weeks, it was to lay that foundation, because when my women feel strong physically, and let me tell you, it doesn't take much to start getting those endorphins and those muscles, and you start loving that, and that makes them feel confident and strong mentally. So the exercise to me has been a joy to see so many people exercising in the neighborhood, so many people out being active. And I truly
more
believe
people walk around my neighborhood. I live in a pretty large neighborhood, and we're seeing tons of people walking. I mean, this many people were not walking before, for sure, but I definitely see couples and families out a lot more than I did previously.
I just truly feel that, for the rest of our life, to be honest, exercise is one of the paramount keystone habits that is absolute necessary. It's absolutely necessary for the rest of your life. It is for your physical, your mental, emotional, relational, everything is for that. And I think if we're going to do something, I love the food part. I mean, I can talk food all day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's more fun. Yeah.
I mean, all day. And that's what I do great at. But my thing is, if I can get people feeling good, exercising, and they feel strong physically, they feel strong mentally, the confidence is there. And then they will naturally eat better because they want to honor what they did, the work they did.
Right.
So it's a great thing right now. And I really think that no matter what economic status you are in, you can exercise, you can move.
So let me ask you this as we wrap up, because I think it's personal for everyone. I admitted I'm not a huge exercise fan. I am athletic, but I'm definitely not a go to the gym type of person. If it doesn't have a social component to me, I'm typically not interested. Although I've kind of turned a lot more introverted being home for 6 weeks. So I don't know, I may get rid of that social component. And I feel like exercise is different for everyone. So when so many people talk about starting an exercise routine, they're like, go to the gym, start running. Well, I can't run. If I run 50 feet, my knees balloon. Like I power washed the house yesterday. I had to prop my legs up for like 2 hours from standing that long, because I just have, my knees are shredded. They're terrible. Mm-hmm. I can walk completely fine, no issues. I can do a rowing machine. I can do a stationary bike. Can't run to save my life without being on the couch for 2 days after. So I feel like I sometimes feel not guilty, but like people like, well, you need to run, you need to do this 5K, you need to do, and I'm like, I know for me, my body can't do that. So for someone I try to just find what I can do, but I feel like a lot of people use it as an excuse, like, can't do it, not going to do anything, which I've totally done that too. So how can people ease into it and find what works for them? Because I feel like that's an important part of exercise and nutrition is what's going to work for you specifically. You don't have to be this marathon runner, because I have a few friends that run marathons and they're like, oh my gosh, you'd love it. I'm like, no, wouldn't. Nope. I did a Spartan race once and they're like, aren't you hooked? I'm like, no, not hooked at all. Not going to do it ever again. Checked it off the bucket list. So, I feel it's personalized. So how do you help people with that?
So number one is knowing who you are is the most important thing. Like you already said, Jacynta, I know that, I'm not going to be running. I know my knees are shot. So the biggest thing is figuring out what strengths you have and some of the limitations you have to figure out, well,
I can plank all day long though. People hate planks. I can do a 5-minute plank.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
5 minutes?
Yeah. I have to put a phone or like something on my, I like that. I have to put something on that I can read during it, but I can, so that's about my only thing I know I can do.
Well, then you said something important too. You said, Jacynta, I like it social. You like exercise social.
Yep.
Yes?
Yeah, because then I forget I'm doing it.
Well, most of my people are social. I remember in my company, people hire me because they cannot meet their external goals.
Right.
I mean, they can't meet their internal goals. They have to hire external accountability to meet their internal goals.
Yep.
Right. So I help them with that. So for instance, I will go to exercise classes with them when it's not quarantine time. I will personally, create something for them to do, and usually it's one thing.
So back to the one thing. Okay.
Is the one thing. So, it's the compound effect, which is the big, I love the compound effect. It's small steps plus consistency plus time equals radical changes.
Yeah.
And I start with one thing. I'll say, Kristen, tell me one thing. And Kristen's like, I can plank. I'm like, yes. Let's start with your strengths. I never start with the weaknesses.
Well, see, I'm a strengths finder junkie. I love that. I think I agree with that with business and life, is if you can focus on what you're good at. And I feel like that's where people get frustrated. Like I've seen people in the gym with trainers, and I think that, is it Planet Fitness or somebody that has the commercial about that? You'll see somebody in the gym where you're looking at this person going, why do you have them even trying that? You're setting them up for failure. They need to start at a different point. So I feel like no matter who we are, where we are, personally, professionally, fitness and health, there's a starting point that if somebody can, like you, can help them find that, then they can get to their goal.
One of the best things that I've ever had in my life was failure. And I've had, failure, and failure has led to my successes. I'm not afraid of failure.
Yeah.
So a few years ago, probably just about 4 years ago, I wasn't exercising. And I know you're thinking, you just talked about exercise for 30 minutes. And I said,
no, I get that.
So I was not. I was doing this. I was being a whiner about it. I kept saying, I don't have time, and I don't want to mess my hair up, and I don't know how I'm going to be able to drop the kids off and exercise and go to work. And I made all these excuses. And frankly, it was not a priority. Here I am, this health and wellness, all this, and I was not consistently exercising. They love my story because I went from 0 to 5-6 days a week consistently, then hence becoming a certified personal trainer. And I just passed my exam January 31st. It was
congratulations.
I went to class, Kennesaw. I did the whole thing. It was intense. And I went from 0, no lie. They all know this because I was their coach. I was their nutrition part. I never claimed to have the exercise. And then finally I decided, how am I going to do this? How can I get it? How do I exercise consistent? How do these people do this?
Yeah.
I went to one class 1 day a week.
I think it's prioritizing it. Because like I said before, I don't use the I don't have time excuse, because I think it's a BS excuse for pretty much everything.
Well, to be honest, it is the biggest excuse of all time. So in even the personal training books that I've studied, lack of time is the number one reason people state.
Oh, it's the reason they state. It's not accurate. They're lying to themselves, but it's a prioritization thing. It's like, so now I just admit I'm like, it's not a priority.
So my thing, exactly. So, in order to help people, again, it's that one thing. We're all completely overwhelmed right now. Mm-hmm. We're overwhelmed with what everything is happening to our lives. And, we're taking in a lot as coaches, and as what you do, we take on their personal, it's hard. We take on what's going on. I can tell in your heart, you're a compassionate lady, and you're taking on that business aren't doing well, and you're feeling that for your clientele. I feel the same thing. We carry a lot of burden around with that. And so if I can release their burden a little bit and just one thing we're going to focus on. So when I did the one class, I didn't know it was going to lead down this road where I was going to end up being able to be their trainers now and add that to my business. And so we have to look and be like, there's so many things that are going to be awesome when we come out of this. We don't even realize it now. I can't wait to have a year from now, a reflection time on this and be like, wow, we slayed it. We made the most of it. We are productive, constructive, creative, right? And we're going to come out of this. Your clients, my clients, it's going to be a time where it's going to be an amazing reinventing, reigniting, refresh for all of us.
Yeah. So I think that's a great point to wrap up with. So productive, constructive, and creative. So I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. And I would love to encourage, to your point, Jacynta, encourage the audience to find the one thing that you can do, whether you're still staying at home or whether you're heading back out into the world, to be productive, constructive, and creative, and find one thing. I think it'd be a great place to start. So throw us in the comments, let us know what your one thing is. We got a couple questions that I just saw pop up. Lynn wants to know how you went from one exercise class a week to almost daily.
Great question, Lynn. Thank you for asking. In order to do habits, you have to have a reward attached to it. There's a cue, craving, response, reward. That's how you do a habit. That's what I was doing, Lynn, was starting the exercise habit. For every 10 workouts that I did, I received from myself a new exercise outfit.
Oh, nice reward. Okay.
So that was my award. I did a reward attached. I do that in my business as well. I do Sparkle rewards. I have them make their own reward systems. What is rewarded is repeated, Lynn. So Lynn, guess what you think a good girl's gonna do who likes clothes?
Yeah.
Like any woman, right? I started liking the feeling. Exercise was still hard. I still went in and I was still sleepy. It was a 5 a.m. workout, Lynn. It was definitely, the reward was the clothing. I then increased it probably after a couple of months to 2 workouts a week. It was Monday and Thursday. I went Monday and Thursday consistently. So I did that. So then the clothing reward started coming a little quicker. The biggest thing with rewards, you have to do it in cash in quickly, just like a child. You never tell a child they received a reward and tell them in 2 weeks you're going to get it. I immediately would drive and I would buy the whole outfit and I'd get my reward. And then I would work on the next one and the next one. It was pretty soon that I did 3 days a week and I was doing that very well. And that's how I did it, was one after another, but I had rewards attached to it. It became soon where that reward was able to be flipped out with the actually feeling proud award, feeling strong award. Okay. Also, I started developing relationships when I was exercising. The accountability and the social aspect is key for my clients. My clients love to exercise with other people. Okay, so that's what we do. That's how we keep each other going. And then the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5. I fell in love with exercise. I could have never told you that 4 years ago. Never. And anyone who knew me would tell you that she just did just about nothing. So if I can make transformation possible, I know anybody can. I mean, people are still amazed how I talk about exercise, because it never used to be me. I hope everyone gets inspired by my story. I mean, I'm 49 years old and I feel like I can jump off a building and bounce right back up right now. And I could have never done that before.
I love it. I love it. Love it. So I would say, I like that. Let's take the one thing, let's figure out what that is for us and figure out how we can make it and move forward and just put the rewards in place. I think that's a fun way to do this. So Jacynta, thank you so much for being with us today.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And everything. And until next time, everybody, keep pushing past those limits.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.